What is going on, everybody? Forehead McGee here, aka Jake the Bills fan, aka Jake Jordan, and I'm back. And, we're going to talk about something that happened over the weekend, and everybody knows what it is. It's the NFL draft. And if you're wondering, Jake, where the hell have you been? Or maybe you're clicking on this video for the first time and you're like, Jake, who the hell are you? Well, I'm Jake Jordan, and I call myself Jake the Bills fan because, if you can see behind me and everything, I am a Bills fan. And in complete honesty, where I have been is I've had a podcast on the Buffalo Fanatics podcast network, and then I changed said podcast over to the Built in Buffalo podcast network. I've been doing that every single week. It's been finals week, been a little bit busy. It is what it is, but I am going to try to, throughout the summer, get at least one Bills related video out per week so that you guys can see that I am not just forgetting about the YouTube channel. I want to continue to grow this as well as do my weekly podcast. And in complete honesty, ladies and gentlemen, I love doing this. I love doing everything about Bills Mafia. So if you guys are really interested, why do you not join the Football Mafia down below? Hit subscribe, hit the bell notification so you know when all those videos this summer come out. Now let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. There is a lot, and I mean a lot of stuff to break down about this draft. And honestly, how do you guys feel about this draft? Because it took me a while to sit and actually process what the hell had happened during the draft. Like, I'm sitting here and I saw the first pick and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna be the guy who said I was jumping up and down on the tables for Gregory Rousseau. I wasn't, but that's our first pick that we got to talk about. I'm going to be handing out grades for the Buffalo Bills draft class this year, and let's start it out with Gregory Rousseau. Dude is a monster. He's 6'7", 260 to 70 pounds, whoever you ask, whatever measurement you're getting, he's somewhere in between there, and dude is a monster. If you've seen the picture, I'm going to throw it up right here. Dude is a monster. And, when you look at him, you're like, oh, that guy's going to be a beast. Honestly, I didn't like the pick at first. There were guys that were sitting there. There was Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, and there was also Asante Samuel Jr., the cornerback from Florida State. So they were also sitting there at 30. They'd fallen right into our laps, and the Buffalo Bills took Gregory Rousseau, who really everybody just suspected to have a second-round grade on him. Yes, he did have 15 and a half sacks in 2019, which was one behind Chase Young, who ended up going really high in the draft. I believe it was number 1 overall to the Washington football team. I'm not quite sure. I don't remember that draft, but it was high nevertheless. So everybody was kind of knocking him because he was a little slow and gained some weight because the knack on him was that he was too little. But I believe that he's going to come in and absolutely wreak havoc. They're going to have him probably lose the weight and gain it back the right way in muscle. And Gregory Rousseau, Jason Owe went one pick later, and he's the better prospect, but Gregory Rousseau could be an absolute beast. So I'm going to give Gregory Rousseau a B+ grade. I like Gregory Rousseau. I think he could be really good. I think there were some better picks at 30, but Gregory Rousseau is a B+. So, doubling up on edge rushers, the Buffalo Bills go out and get a guy that I thought we would get in the second round anyway after we got a corner in the first round. They got Boogie Basham, everybody. Boogie Basham out of Wake Forest. I really, really like this dude. Like, when we were talking about edge rushers coming out, I was like, all right, we can probably get a guy in the second round who can probably generate more pressure than what we have right now. And Boogie Basham is that guy. Guy kind of reminds me a lot of a Shaq Lawson type. That would be my comparison to him. While he's a little bit slower, Boogie Basham is still going to be able to contribute year one in this defensive line. And I really like that we doubled up on defensive end, but I also really don't like that we doubled up on defensive end because we could have easily went corner and then defensive end with Boogie Basham, but I'm not going to question Brandon Beane. I just think it was a little, like, I'm not mad at it. Obviously, pass rush is something that we need, so doubling up on it wasn't something I was going to harp on. But in all honesty, I think we could have got a corner and then, but for some reason, the Buffalo Bills do not think that corner is an issue, which we will talk in a future video when I talk about free agency post the draft. Boogie Basham, to me, I believe is also, he's probably a B minus. I don't know. We were kind of just double dipping when it comes to that. So the grade for the Bills after getting Rousseau, I'm going to give a B minus, but it would have been a B plus had we gotten him after a corner. Okay, so now we're going to get to a pick that I really, really like. Spencer Brown out of Northern Iowa. This guy is a monster of a tackle. If you have not seen what this man looks like, he is fucking massive. It's great, and he plays at the tackle position. A lot of people saying that he might be able to switch into guard. Nobody really knows. I think he's really just going to be there as the guy who will eventually take over for Darrell Williams. I really like this pick. Dude is huge. He's really athletic. I mean, if you guys haven't seen the raw athletic score, the RAS score for him, dude is off the charts. And just the way from his background to everything that he projects himself as, dude is a really, really good athlete and a really good tackle. And getting him in the third round is when we got him is really, really good. I would give that grade a A for that pick. So this one is where Brandon Beane started to lose me. Okay, so we didn't have a fourth round pick. So we were waiting until the fifth round for us to finally get one of our picks, and we picked Tommy Doyle, offensive tackle out of Miami of Ohio. And to be completely honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, this is where Brandon Beane lost me, because why were we double dipping a tackle? That's my problem. And with Tommy Doyle, I know a lot of people are also saying, oh, well, he could play guard too. Then why not draft a guard? At this point, there were still guards on the board that we could have taken, and it wouldn't have been, like, it would have actually been a better pick, not a guy that we is labeled as almost a true tackle, has never played guard, and we're going to try to move him to guard. I just really don't like that all these people are coming around trying to put out this narrative that we can move this guy to guard when he's never played guard in his life, as far as we know from stats that are up on the internet. So if he played guard back in Pee Wee football, I don't care. And honestly, dude could move into guard. I just don't see what it is with Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott and them thinking they can take these guys a la Cody Ford, where he was a tackle and then they moved him to guard, and we don't know how Cody Ford is going to fare at guard, so why would we get another tackle that we might try to transition to guard? I'm not quite sure why we didn't just take a full-on guard there. I'm going to give Tommy Doyle a C+. Now this is a good pick. We got Marquez Stevenson from Houston, a wide receiver, and this dude is all speed. If there's one thing you need to think of, is this dude is our John Brown replacement. This guy is really, really good, and especially getting him in the 6th round. This guy is a burner. I'm really surprised that we were able to pick him up. He's going to be able to torch guys, and with his route running ability is a little bit of hit and miss, but being in a room with Cole Beasley and Emmanuel Sanders and Stephon Diggs, dude's going to get his route running really, really improved. Marquez Stevenson, I'm going to give this one an A+. I really like this one. So I completely forgot about Damar Hamlin when I was recording the original video. So Damar Hamlin, safety from Pittsburgh, really good depth. We definitely needed some safety depth, and the dude has a really high athletic upside. I would have to give him about a B+ when it comes to his grade. I think that he's good depth. He does have some history with Dane Jackson, who will be competing for CB2. You need that kind of chemistry when it comes to these guys. So quickly thrown in here, we're going to have Damar Hamlin, safety from Pittsburgh, really good depth at a B+. Now this one, I know they say it's never too late when you're picking some of these guys, but better late than never. Rachad Wildgoose, a cornerback out of Wisconsin. This guy, I can't tell you a lot about him because, he has somewhat of a injury history, but he's got a high upside, but I don't see why this is where my thinking of Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott do not think that corner is a real big issue for the Buffalo Bills, even though it is. And, picking up Wild Goose, a lot of people just saying that he's probably going to be just a special team contributor. And, I don't know that adding this guy makes the Buffalo Bills cornerback room better. So I'm going to give Rachad Wildgoose a C-. And then the last one, the Bills go out on a high note getting Jack Anderson, a offensive guard from Texas Tech. This is the guard that we all wanted in this draft. Not 2 tackles, but the thing that Brandon Beane said going into this draft, we're building for the future. Look at this dude. Does this dude not look like Richie Incognito? Like Richie Incognito's baby. This is who this guy is, Jack Anderson. This guy is also really, really good, and he's also really, really big. Brandon Beane, I think his strategy to fix the run game is to just make our whole offensive line so tall that nobody's going to see Devin Singletary or Zach Moss behind it, because that's what it has to be, right? We're drafting all these dudes. The thing that I think Brandon Beane also sees is the game is won in the trenches, so building all these offensive linemen and these defensive linemen is really going to improve the team a lot. Jack Anderson, really good value for getting him in the 7th round. I'm going to give him an A. So that's about all the grades. I'm going to average it. I'm going to give the Buffalo Bills final draft grade is going to be a B+. I don't think that the draft was amazing, but I also don't think that the draft was horrible. We got better in places. We didn't get better in places that I think we should have, and I think that's going to lead into post-draft free agency where there's still some guys sitting out there, and we'll talk about it. I'll make a video about that. And, we'll sit here and we'll chop it up a bit and see what it is. But make sure to, if you want to hear me every single week, go check out my podcast, The Lowdown with Jake Jordan. It drops on Fridays on the Built in Buffalo Podcast Network. And to get my videos here, make sure to subscribe and join the Football Mafia. Mafia means family, and I would love for you to join mine. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.